in this video, we will learn a few things about Beethoven's iconic Fifth Symphony. This symphony is often nicknamed as the Fifth Symphony because Anton Schindler, who was Beethoven's assistant and later became his biographer, claimed that Beethoven said the main motif, da 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 da, represents the unwanted fate knocking at your door like this. However, a lot of music scholars are very skeptical about Anton Schindler's credibility because he tends to exaggerate his personal connection and encounters and interactions with Beethoven. So we are not sure if it's truly from Beethoven or not, but this story has been fascinating behind the story for the symphony, especially because it went so perfectly with Beethoven's personal struggle with his hearing loss, the unwanted fate for the genius musician. And another interesting fact about this motif is why and when it became so popular in our culture. Because during Beethoven's time, this symphony was not one of his most celebrated or most popular works. And it was during the World War II that it became really, really popular. And it's because due to this amazing and perfect coincidence that the rhythm of this motif matches exactly same to the Morse code for letter V. So the Allies used this symphony as the musical symbol for victory, and you could hear this symphony everywhere on television or radio during the wartime as the musical propaganda. But besides all these fun facts about this motif, it's actually quite significant musically as well. And it's because Beethoven had this special gift of thematic development. Basically what it means is that he could use very simple and primitive musical ideas such as this rhythm, and he could develop it and blossom it into a full-blown scale, sophisticated, meaningful musical work such as the Fifth Symphony. So for this symphony, he uses this motif not only in the first movement but throughout the entire symphony. In all four movements, he bases all four movements in this motif. And in the first and the third movement, it's quite easy to catch how he utilized this motif because he composed these two movements together at the same time early on. But the second and fourth movement comes later, like actually years apart from the first and the third movement. And it's a little trickier to track how he utilized this motif in these two movements, but I encourage you to challenge yourself to listen to these two movements and see if you can notice how Beethoven utilized the motif or how he developed this motif in these movements. And another interesting thing about this symphony is the third movement. So at the end of the third movement, which actually connects to the fourth movement without a break, what happens in this section musically is that he strips down the instruments one by one from the high-pitched instrument to low-pitched instrument, and eventually we are only left with a timpani pulsating like a heartbeat. And some people say that this section is actually Beethoven trying to demonstrate what his hearing loss felt like, and eventually only left with the sound within himself, the heart beating. And if you keep this in mind while listening to this section, it's quite a heartbreaking experience to endure, but at the same time it's just amazing how he leveled up the genre of symphony to a personal and soulful experience rather than a mere oral entertainment for humanity. And yeah, and the Fifth Symphony is amazing, and I think as a world citizen, everyone should listen to this symphony once at least in your lifetime. So I encourage you to listen to this symphony from the beginning to the end of the fourth movement, all of them today, and comment below on how you felt while listening to the third movement, now knowing what it could possibly mean, as well as if you've noticed how Beethoven used the motif in the second and fourth movement. And I hope this video enhances your listening experience as well as your love and interest for classical music. And I hope to see you in the next video.